Mr. Piercey, what's your reaction to the verdict?
It's been a very difficult time for Doug and his wife and his family, and they're just very relieved that it's over. I think it was a lawful and proper verdict, and now he has the opportunity to move on with his life.
Were you surprised that it took so long for the verdict?
I don't know how many of these I've done. I'm never surprised at them anymore.
What's next for Constable Snellgrove?
I have no idea. Get his life back, I guess.
Do you know what might happen with him as far as the force goes?
I have no idea about that either. I don't do that type of law.
What did he say to you after the verdict was read in the courtroom today? Obviously, you met with him afterwards. What was he thinking?
He cried, he said thank you, and he hugged me.
What do you think the key issue was in this case?
Consent.
Do you believe the jury believed that she consented?
Well, necessarily they either had to, no, they had to have at least a reasonable doubt about whether or not she consented or he believed she consented. That's what the judge told him.
There's probably going to be some uproar as a result of this verdict from different community groups. What would you like to say to people who feel it's unfair, this verdict is unfair?
Get the transcript of the trial.
Anything else?
No, that's it. You know, if you're going to cause an uproar, come to the court and watch what actually happened.
There's going to be people who will say, though, he was in uniform and what he did was wrong because he's a police officer. On the stand, he said he didn't feel that he had any responsibility for the complainant when she was in the car, yet he's an officer with 10 years' experience. What would you say to somebody who would talk to you about that?
I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I live in a different world. You know, that's what I'm going to limit my comments to.
How nerve-wracking was it for you? Jury trials must be tough.
Horrible, wasn't it? Yeah.
Do you think the expert helped or hurt your case?
I think helped, but I don't know. I think as it turned out, we didn't absolutely need him, but I don't think he hurt us. Okay?
The jury came back with so many questions. Did that present any worry for you?
No. I think I've learned not to pay attention to what the questions might mean in terms of a conviction or acquittal.
Also, the judge said that mere drunkenness is not a reason, or is not a reason to be incapable. Do you have any thoughts on that?
That's clearly the law. Yeah. I mean, if people had got drunk and had sex and got charged with it, well, a lot of charges coming.
Were you concerned this morning when the jury came back and asked, how do we fill out our verdict sheets if some of us are going not guilty and some of them guilty? Are you concerned at that point that there might be an issue, a major issue for the jury here?
I thought there might be a dispute in the jury room, and that, hung jury was a possibility.
Mr. Piercey, what does this mean for Constable Snellgrove's career now?
I don't know. I do criminal defense. I don't do employment law.
How long does the Crown have to file an appeal if they're going to do that?
30 days.
Do you know if your client would like to continue as an officer?
I'm not going to give away any solicitor-client privileged discussions.
The fact that this was so public and there was a lot of public outcry on this, did any distraction you find come into the courtroom? Was it easy to keep everything in the courtroom?
Do you play hockey?
Yes, sir.
Right. When you get on the ice, you're playing hockey. And if you're going to do what John and I are doing, when you get in the courtroom, you've got to concentrate what's in the courtroom. Okay?
Thank you.
Thoughts, or?
No?